Did you ever think, by gosh, I'm sort of an unusual person to become such a big star?
I marvel at it daily, probably.
So here we are on Newhart Street.
Yeah, it's still kind of surreal.
Yeah.
But having this street named after him on the Hollywood lot where he shot 2 legendary sitcoms is just one of the amazing twists that Bob Newhart's life has taken, leading up to this past week.
It's the Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, celebrating Bob Newhart.
Not bad for a star who kind of looks like an accountant from Chicago. But then he was an accountant from Chicago.
I had this kind of strange theory of accounting. I felt if you got within $2 or $3 of it, that was close enough. But
he wanted to do stand-up comedy. A disc jockey friend sent an audio tape of Newhart's routines to scouts from Warner Brothers Records.
So they listened to them, and they said, yeah, we think they're funny, and we'll record you at your next nightclub. And I said, well, see, we have a problem there because I've never played a nightclub. They said, well, then we're going to have to get you into a nightclub. So they got me into a club in Houston, Texas, called the Tideland.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Newhart.
He recorded the button-down mind of Bob Newhart, included classic one-sided telephone conversations like the one between a Madison Avenue ad man and Abraham Lincoln.
Hi, Abe, sweetheart, how are you, kid? How's Gettysburg? Sort of a drag, huh?
It was a huge hit. How huge? It outsold Elvis. Soon Newhart was appearing on TV. Here he is imagining the boss back in Old England getting a call from Sir Walter Raleigh about a new discovery.
Are you saying snuff, Walt? And what's snuff? You take a pinch of tobacco and you stick it up your nose. And it makes you sneeze. I imagine it would, Walt, yeah.
Newhart's second album, The Button-Down Mind Strikes Back, was a smash too. In fact, he set a new record for top albums on the Billboard charts.
And I had that record until it was broken 30 years later by Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses. And I always said, well, you hate to lose a record, but at least it went to a friend.
I was wondering what you and Guns N' Roses had in common, but now I know.
We talk, Ax and I talk almost every day on the phone.
Even today, audiences love the old Newhart bits, like the one about a guard at the Empire State Building the night King Kong shows up.
there's an ape's toe sticking through the windowsill. Well, see, he isn't your standard ape, sir. He's between 18 and 19 stories high, depending on whether we have a 13th floor or not.
And that's the way I've always considered my comedy, as being the last sane man, and going to people and saying, excuse me, but isn't this crazy?
Your humor has always been kind of sweet.
Okay.
Fair?
Fair.
Is that fair?
Clean.
Was that
Clean.
very clean? Was that intentional?
Intentional, yeah.
Why?
That's the way I am. It's funny, Rita, and I've talked to Jerry Seinfeld about this. Jerry works clean. You just feel better after you've done a show and you're clean and the audience has had a good time. It just...
Do you think some, maybe younger comedians, confuse shock with humor?
Exactly, yeah.
Still,
Bob Newhart is just magic.
Jane Curtin is one of the younger comedians who came to pay tribute at the Kennedy Center.
I don't know who to talk about first, Mark Twain or Bob Newhart, two of my most favorite Midwestern guys.
A lot of people have said that Newhart doesn't so much act as react.
Exactly, exactly. And the timing is so brilliant because he holds your attention during those pauses, whereas, normally, if it took that long to get from the and the or, you'd be sitting there going, but you don't, you wait. You wait, you watch him and you wait. And he's in control. He's in total control of the situation.
Bob Newhart jokes that it's his wife Ginny who's really in control. They were fixed up on a blind date 42 years ago by guess who? Comedian. They now have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. But of course, it's Newhart's TV wife we know best. Suzanne Plachette played Emily, married to psychologist Robert Hartley on The Bob Newhart Show.
We had that special chemistry. We were both individual people who really loved each other, but also were independent.
Chicago before dawn. My kind of town. Maybe a sleeping giant now, but soon it will awaken to become crossroads of America.
Can it, Bob?
On his second hit show, Newhart, Bob played Vermont innkeeper Dick Loudon. This time it was a different relationship that got the biggest laughs.
Hi, I'm Larry.
This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl. They became cult figures because every time they came in, the audience would applaud.
It's a treat for me to work with Bob. I envy myself.
Tom Poston played George the handyman on The Newhart Show.
I ordered your furnace.
Oh, good, George.
The installation will cost $80.
I thought you'd take care of that.
I don't have $80. He played straight for all of his weird characters, but how come he got laughs doing those straight lines?
Let me ask you that question.
I blame that stammer. I blame that halting speech. Couldn't get it out.
How fast were you going when Mr. Adams jumped from the car?
But when he did,
75. And where was that now? In your driveway, Okay.
You went back to touring. Why? Why do you still tour?
Well, because I had the opportunity of not touring and just playing golf every day and just having lunch at the club and staring out the window and saying to myself, boy, I sure don't want to spend the rest of my life like this.
He'd rather spend it like this.
The last couple dates I've done, I worked for somebody that runs in cycles. I worked with like country and western acts. It's an acquired taste. There's no question about it. And I don't in any way mean to denigrate country and western. And for those of you who enjoy country and western music, denigrate would be like to make fun of it or to.
So, if you wonder, as you watch Bob Newhart savor his Mark Twain Prize,
What's the thing you want people most to remember about you and your work?
Well, people come up to me and they say, thanks for all the laughter. And I say, it was my pleasure. And that's the truth.